There are so many tools built into Unreal Engine that a lot of people just will never find. Mostly because unless you know where to look or someone tells you, you just might not notice. I'm going to show you two awesome tools that are built right into Unreal that honestly you could pretty much use in almost any project. And the first one actually works with PCG and allows you to just draw out your splines however you'd like. So over here, I have a simple blueprint PCG graph setup. If I drag it out, you'll see I get a simple curve here with a little bit of a forest on the inside. And I can go ahead and drag it out and change the shape as I'd like. But what if I wanted to have a particular shape to this? Instead of dragging it out every time, I want to just draw it out or just click where I wanted the points to be specifically. And maybe I want one here and I want one here. I don't want to drag this out every single time and position it. So there is a better way of doing this. To do that, in the top left under selection mode, I'm going to go to modeling, and under create, we have this draw spline option. When you select it, you get a few options. Now, first, I'm going to enable loop because we're going to want to close loop for all of this. And then output mode. Now you can make it an empty actor, so you just draw out a spline in the world, but we can also use an existing actor and create a blueprint. I'm going to use create blueprint, and I'm going to pipe in the blueprint we've created right into this field. And then I can go ahead and change the draw mode. Now we have tangent drag, we have click auto tangent, and we have free draw. I'll go ahead and select free draw for this demonstration. At a point spacing of 200, this is all going to be good enough for us. So now what I can do is click and hold the left mouse button and then just draw out any shape we want. And when I let go, you can see I still have the shape. And if I messed up, for example, I press Control Z to undo it or Control Y to redo it. When I'm happy, I can hit accept. And all of a sudden, in the level, we now have this blueprint in our world with a spline and the entire PCG graph created. Now, let's say I'm not happy with this. This is just not quite the spline I wanted. We can go back to draw spline. Let's change it to click auto tangent for this one. And the other thing I want to change, instead of creating the blueprint, I want to change this existing blueprint. So I'm going to select existing actor, BP4 is 2. Existing spline to replace is 0. So I want to replace the original spline here with click auto tangent. So I'll go ahead and click a few times to create a new shape. And just like this, now, I've not checked on loop to show you that you can check it out afterwards. It is fine. You don't need to worry about forgetting to and need to redo the entire spline. Once you got it, you just hit accept, and you'll see nothing has changed here. It's because in the PCG graph, it has not regenerated. So just scroll down to PCG, click clean up and generate, and you'll see it regenerates with this new setup. Now, this also means you can actually add on to it. So I can go back to draw spline and change the existing spline index to replace to be 1. Now, there is no spline on index 1, so it will make one. And this time we'll use tangent drag just to show you what the difference is. So I can click and drag here, and I'll turn on loop so you can actually see the full thing. And you can see right here, we're getting a nice, simple spline. Again, hit accept. And now we have a little forest here as well. And just like that, we can just draw out all of the things in wherever we want, without having to just drag it out and manually place the positions in everywhere. So hopefully this will speed up your workflow when working not only with BCG graphs that are used splines, but anything else that uses splines. Because remember, as long as it has a spline node, it will replace it if you give it the same index. Or if you have no spline component, then it can go ahead and create one, as you just saw here, where we didn't have a second spline, but it went ahead and created one when we wanted it. Now, for the second awesome tool that's actually built into Unreal, it really helps out in creating environments and scattering things, and just anything you need to populate things in your level that you might have gone from an asset pack that you got online, or you created your own asset pack. Most asset packs have this kind of preview level, or basically a level where all the individual pieces are just laid out for you to see, and they're nicely organized, and you can just see what's available to you in this pack without having to go through the content browser. But as you know, you could actually use this directly to just click and drag from that level into your own level to just quickly go ahead and utilize this. Here's a preview level of a simple pack that I have. Now, this doesn't have very many things. You could absolutely have this, have tons of things. You can even use like full pre-built levels. Completely fine for this. So the way this works is first you need to enable a plugin called Actor Palette. So go under Edit, Plugins, search for Actor Palette. Now mine is already enabled. It is in beta. Go ahead and turn it on and restart your engine as needed. Once you've restarted, go to Tools, Actor Palette, and you can select up to 4 actor palettes. I'll go ahead and open up Actor Palette 1, and you get this little window. Now, I can go ahead and just dock it over here on the left-hand side for convenience. And now I can go ahead and open a level or open last level. So I'm going to go choose level, or open recent. I've gone ahead and recently opened it, so I'll go ahead and just select it under recent levels. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and open level and find it in the dropdown and search for it as needed. You're also able to favorite levels here. So I'll go ahead and open our preview map, which is this one right here. So you can see we have the same level here open twice. Now, why would I want this? I don't want it to have it open twice. In the right side, I'm going to open up the level that we were just working on with our splines. And let's say this is where I actually want to place all of this stuff. Now, I just go in and fly around both levels as I normally would. Now, in this one, it does complain that it has multiple directional lights. You can ignore this error. I believe the actor palette itself gives a directional light, and there is one already in this level. So it's effectively in this actor palette currently, there's 2 directional lights, which is why it's complaining. This doesn't matter in terms of usability, but just so you know, you can ignore the error. But the way it works is, let's say I now want to put this ziggurat over here. Well, instead of dragging it from below, like this, which you absolutely can, this is meant to cleanly just click and drag. That's all it is. I just go in here, find what I want, click. I'm not holding the button anymore, but I can just go ahead and just drag it out. And then I can do whatever I want. I can rotate it, I can position it, I can do whatever it is I want. And then I can go in here, look around and say, oh yeah, you know what? I actually want this maybe right in front of here. And really quickly, I can start to create an environment using all of our modular pieces that have been set up. And if I want to, I can go into Actor Palette, open Actor Palette 2, set up another level, and get a few of these going. And then just really quickly, click, drag, and just grab any asset really quickly that I can just visually see what it is. Because when you download a new pack, you might not know every little thing, you don't know how the organization is, etc. So this makes it very easy to just see it, click on it, drag it in, and work with it. Now, there are a few notes with this. Clicking and dragging into the level is exactly the same as if you were to drag it from the content browser. What this means is, if I click here and then click again to kind of deselect it, you can see on the detail panel, I still have it selected here. If I was to overwrite this with a basic material here, let's say with this orange, it is now orange in here. But if I click onto it and then drag it over, it is the original material as though I dragged it out from the content browser. So just keep that in mind, that it will not take the overrides in the actual level, it would take it as though you grabbed it from the content browser itself. But nevertheless, it is an extremely powerful and useful tool for creating environments and spreading around props and everything to kind of set dress kind of any situation you have. And because I've docked it, once I'm happy with it, I can just go ahead and just make it really small in the corner while I work on it. Or if I need to go find something, I can just make it bigger, look for what I need, and then grab it and then drag it out as needed. Nice and quick, nice and convenient. Now, as always, I want to give a big thank you to the Patreons that support everything I do. It really means a lot. If you'd like to join this community, the link to the Discord will be down below. If you want to take your tools to the next level, I actually have created a spline tool that allows you to transfer spline shapes from one blueprint to another, and it's able to completely scale your spline shapes without deforming it in any way. For that, check out this video right here to see how all of that is done.